Yo, what's going on, guys? Crispy Flakes here. For today's video, we are going to be reacting to a video by Johnny Arnett titled, Why the Warriors May Win It All, guys. So, of course, I would say I like any single NBA team that's getting slept on. The Golden State Warriors are definitely up there. It's so funny because as soon as the Warriors got Kevin Durant, we're all like, oh my god, this super team just became a super team. And now that Durant's gone, people are like, oh man, they lost too much out there, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, yes, I understand Klay Thompson's injured, but they also got D'Lo, who was an all-star last season, so, and I do expect Klay Thompson to be back, man. So we are going to watch this video, and Johnny here is going to enlighten us by how the Warriors could potentially win it all this upcoming NBA season. Again, hopefully not. I'm ready for a new team, guys.
The Clippers, the Lakers, and the Rockets.
Raptors. I'll take the Raptors over them again, man. I'll take the Spurs because I love the San Antonio Spurs.
And it's understandable to a certain extent. All of these teams have their new shiny superstar tandems and appear poised to make serious title runs. With that being said, one of the most proven and experienced teams is being overlooked before the season's
completely
even started.
Overlooked.
And of course, I'm talking about the Golden State Warriors. Ever since Kevin Durant joined the Warriors in the summer of 2016, many NBA fans have been anxiously waiting for the dismantling and the end of the Warriors dynasty. And I believe that hope and anticipation for something new in the NBA is what's influencing plenty of people to proclaim that the Warriors era is over. But in this video, we're going to swallow a major red pill, and I'll explain
you taking the red or the blue, guys?
Far from the case.
Blue's probably blueberry.
Let me start by saying this. Yes, I understand that the Warriors lost Kevin Durant, Andre Iguodala, and Boogie Cousins this offseason.
I didn't mention Iguodala and Charlemagne. So their bench is actually looking like straight up ass, man. And Boogie Cousins not that big time of a loss, I'm being honest.
And I understand that Steph will have to carry a heavier load.
That's what makes me
Klay
nervous.
Thompson is going to miss significant amount of time as he recovers from his ACL tear. With that being said, the Warriors' core group will still be intact when the playoffs roll around with Steph Curry, Klay Thompson, and Draymond Green.
That's all that matters, right?
Losing Kevin Durant was a tremendous loss, but the core group of their three original stars are still the bread and butter of the Warriors dynasty. These three guys embody their play style, their culture, and their winning basketball. Let's remember that this is the same group of core players that won the championship in 2015 and then went on to have a 73-9 season the following year.
Wasn't that long ago.
Let's also remember that in the last 5 years since the Warriors started winning championships, no one has beat a healthy Warriors team. Even in 2016, when LeBron led the Cavs over the Warriors, Andrew Bogut missed the deciding 7th game, and Steph Curry never fully recovered from his lingering knee injury. If they're fully healthy by the time the playoffs start, this group will be extremely poised, experienced, and difficult to beat in a 7-game series.
Damn, Klay took Pascal there, man.
What changed and how the Warriors will handle it. Klay Thompson is going to miss the majority of the upcoming season, and with Kevin Durant and Boogie Cousins no longer on the roster, Golden State is going to lean more heavily on Steph Curry. I don't necessarily see this as a bad thing, though. The
thing that makes me worried about Stephen Curry is just like last year in the finals, there were some moments where he was kind of like the only guy out there doing stuff, and he got clamped up, man. It's like, I don't know. It just, we are going to learn a lot more about Steph Curry this upcoming season, guys. We are going to learn a lot about him, man. Just outside of like, I don't know, man. Just like, I don't know. We're going to learn a lot. That's all I got to say about him.
He's always a better offensive player when he's been more
I feel like Curry haters are going to come at
aggressive
me in the comments, but
not only have we
I can't really
witnessed
explain
this
it
in the years we've watched Steph play, but his numbers also back it up. Some of Steph's most efficient seasons shooting the basketball, including his most efficient season, were when his field goal attempts were at their highest. Typically, a higher volume of shots hurts a player's efficiency, but with Steph, it's the opposite. I expect a productive and MVP caliber season from Steph. We also have
he is crazy good, man. Oh my god, dude.
At least while Klay Thompson is out, and I'm obviously talking about D'Angelo Russell. It's easy to forget that D'Angelo is a blooming superstar who's getting better and is still only 23 years old.
I'll take it.
D'Angelo is also a terrific fit with Steph Curry. Yes, you heard me correctly. He's a great fit in the backcourt with Steph as long as the Warriors play their cards correctly. I understand that D'Angelo and Steph are both typically playing as point guards, but the Warriors have a unique system, and Curry is a unique player. The Warriors are a team.
I could be completely wrong about this, but I think D'Lo, didn't he play shooting guard at Ohio State? I could be wrong about that, but I thought he played a little off-ball there quite a bit. I don't know.
And system that prides themselves upon moving the ball and making the extra pass. Steph Curry is also the best off-ball guard in the entire NBA, and if you ask me, it's not close. Steph is constantly moving without the basketball and looking for clean looks to shoot. A player who did this a lot in his time was Reggie Miller, who did this as a shooting guard throughout his career. Steph should play more of the two-guard position on offense and do his best Reggie
Shots
Miller
going up,
impression
assists
for this
probably going
upcoming
down,
season.
right?
Steph already did
My
a
prediction.
ton of this in his 2016
Damn, bro,
campaign.
Kawhi,
when he was
where
the
you at?
unanimous MVP.
What
And
to
he's
do,
gonna need to
baby?
do just as much of it if the Warriors are going to be successful.
Why is he open
the
like
Warriors
that?
can let D'Angelo handle the ball at the top, where he's at his best and able to make plays, while Steph is always moving and lurking as the perimeter threat. I think a motivated and leaned upon Draymond Green will also have a resurgent season, where he gets to display his value. The acquisition of Willie Cauley-Stein was also a nice move and will provide the Warriors with some much-needed rim protection. With the roster they have assembled
Kevon
and the
Looney.
style of play I expect them to implement, I see the Warriors hanging around the 6 to 8 seed of the playoff picture when Klay Thompson returns. By the way, what I just mentioned is the most key aspect of the Warriors' title hopes. As we all know, Klay's season ended with the ACL tear in Game 6 of the NBA Finals.
Felt bad for that,
He will
man.
be in recovery for a while and will miss a significant portion of this upcoming season. But with that being said, Klay's ACL tear is not like Kevin Durant's Achilles tear. More often than not, an Achilles tear will either end an NBA
Don't show me
player's
Brand
career.
Jennings, man. Man, don't show me this man right here. He was so good for the Pistons.
Or at least the player is never the same once he's returned from the Achilles injury. An ACL tear for an NBA player isn't quite the same. There are numerous examples of NBA players, and just athletes in general, tearing their ACL and then returning seemingly even better than before. When
Better?
Klay
Who
says
got
he's
better?
motivated, he's working hard, and thinks he can come back better than ever, I believe him. It's not like
Paul
Klay is the
George-
type of
George
player
Williams, I
who
mean, you guys
relies
like
heavily
snapped in
on his
half.
athleticism anyway.
He
He's
came
never
back
been
better,
all
though.
that quick, and he's not much of a leaper, but he does have good basketball IQ, is a fantastic shooter, and is a smart defender. Those aren't qualities that will be ruined by an ACL injury.
Defense
According to reports
definitely
and
could.
hopes, Klay Thompson's return date is in February. There is also another event conveniently set around Thompson's return time in February, the NBA trade deadline. Assuming things go like we've discussed, in February, you'll have Steph Curry that's dialed in, you'll have a D'Angelo Russell whose value is seen and felt,
Yup.
and a Klay Thompson who's returning in healthy form, ready to take his starting guard position back. They'll have 3 quality guards on their roster, all capable of a starting spot, but only 2 starting spots available.
I swear to God, I will hate the Golden State Warriors forever if D'Lo helps this team maintain while Klay Thompson's gone, and they end up trading him to like the damn Minnesota Timberwolves or a team that's not going to be in the playoffs. I'll be so pissed off about that. Klay Thompson can play the 3 just fine.
This is
I'll-
the point
I will
where
be
the
so
Warriors can
mad.
really strengthen their championship.
I'll be so
hopes.
mad.
This is where they should trade D'Angelo Russell
Oh,
right
don't-
before the trade deadline.
Don't do it to him, please.
His value will be
Please.
tremendous as a star player who's been productive up until that point and is still only in his early 20s. I'm not going to pretend to know who the Warriors could acquire in return for D'Angelo. There are too many variables and a lot
Robert
will change
Covington?
between now and the 2020 trade deadline.
Maybe Jeff
But I
Teague?
do know that D'Angelo will be a heavily desired young player
Both of
who
them would be
warrants
both.
serious value in return. The Warriors could get a solid wing to replace the void left by Kevin Durant and
Robert
Andre
Covington would be
Iguodala.
pristine,
Or
man.
the Warriors
Pristine.
could get a solid center to start down low, and then Cauley-Stein could have an impact coming off the bench. Or the Warriors could just trade D'Angelo for a group of players to strengthen their rotation and their depth overall. Regardless of which route they
Straight up, you trade D'Lo for Robert Covington. That's your Andre Iguodala replacement. Jeff Teague, who would be the Sean Livingston replacement off the bench. And you could probably even get another player out of it. Maybe even make it a 3-team trade, try to get some more depth for the squad there. Because D'Lo, I think, is probably worth more than that, right? I mean, an all-star point guard who's only 23. So maybe a draft pick, but I would probably want players at this point. I don't really know who else the Timberwolves would really have outside those guys. They probably don't want like Wiggins or somebody like that, but just a few ideas.
choose to take, it would likely be a step that would make them even more formidable, and it would be just in time for the playoffs. This is why, when the playoffs come, I think the Warriors will once again be serious threats to win the 2020 championship. We need to remember that the Warriors already have the synergy and team chemistry. The Warriors are the only serious
Chemistry is
Western
gonna be
Conference
important.
contender whose core group of players all played with each other in years past. Everyone else in the West will have to develop that chemistry that's already firmly established in Golden State. We also need to remember that we're still in the era of the three-pointer,
Let me make another quick rebuttal to that, guys. The thing is, though, if it was the Warriors going into this season with Klay Thompson completely healthy, you can make the argument with that chemistry. But the thing is by the time Klay Thompson is back from his injury, those teams' chemistry issues are already going to be figured out. Like, it's not going to take an entire season for Russell and James Harden or Kawhi and Paul George to not play together. Those guys are going to figure it out for the All-Star break. They're professionals. It's going to be done. So I can't really say the chemistry card is going to be all there. Maybe a little bit in their favor, but still, like, Klay Thompson later in the season is going to have to learn to play with D'Lo, assuming they keep both those guys together.
And no one has any shooters as good as the two that the Dubs have, and that's worth something. Essentially, this will be the year where we find out just how good of a coach Steve Kerr truly is, because this year, the opportunity for the Warriors to win the championship will be there, but how they play their cards and how they execute on the court will be more crucial than ever. Let me know in the comments section.
I will say he made a very appealing case here. Like, I think this dude, this is my first time seeing his videos. Very good video, man. Very good breakdown of it. See, I don't know if I would call it why the Warriors may win it all. I could say, like, why they could still compete. Because a lot of people have this team. People are saying, like, borderline playoff team. Like, do the injuries are just going to be too overwhelming. But no, like, when push comes to shove, when the playoffs come, if Klay, Curry, and Draymond are all healthy, anything is possible. Kevin Garnett.